It's chat time with Chunk and Cucumber and your host, Dino.
That was too early. They only heard in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, everybody.
Buddy.
Welcome.
How's it going?
Does my head look weirdly shaped to you today?
It always has, buddy.
It's
What is
always.
wrong with my head?
That's another episode right there. We can't wear
You
that.
do look a little filled out. Like you got more skull than
Listen,
normal?
don't
it's
know.
a pandemic. He gained a little weight. It's okay.
Yeah,
Don't judge him.
Didn't we all?
Welcome to Chat Time, everybody. I'm your host, Dino, as always. And with me, next to me, again, which is weird, is Cucumber
As
and
always.
Chuck.
Is that like?
Yeah.
Is that Russian? What is that? What is that last name?
Sure, it's Russian.
Wow. Okay.
Even though I'm Italian.
The coffee is not strong today.
Even though I'm Italian, my last name is Russian.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that works out. Anyways, welcome to Chat Time. With us is Scott Klopfenstein. Hi, Scott.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey gang, what's going on?
Yeah, Scott is an incredible musician and wonderful human from ska fame and his own fame in general. So I'm really excited to have him on the show, and we'll get to know him in a second. If you're in the chat, let us know you're there. For some reason, I'm not saying any words. Maybe you're just all real quiet.
YouTube chat's popping.
Is it? I
Yeah.
did not see that
My
at all.
volume chat is broken, though. I can't get it.
Oh, that's why I needed to refresh it. There's everybody. Hi, everybody in YouTube. This was dumb. Anyways, welcome. Good morning. And before we let's get started with what we always get started with, which is, but how do you feel? Yeah. All right. So for those of you that don't know, but how do you feel is where we describe how we're feeling using categories. And so today, because Scott is a big fan, I chose to do Ghostbusters characters.
Hell yeah.
Big and small, whichever one you can pick. You could pick an animal that you see in the background. I really don't care. Anything you want, but how are you feeling according to that? And explain why, please. Yeah, do you have one, Cucumber, already? Oh, no, you don't. Okay.
I do.
You do, Chunk? Okay.
Okay, this is one of the few things I liked about the new Ghostbusters movies with Kristen Wiig and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like the movie, but I really liked. I feel like that big giant clown that like just walks by the street, just like giant long legs. He's like super tall.
Why?
Because I am I'm big, and I don't know. I just really like them.
Wow.
Okay. So there was no thought for that. There was just, I like this thing.
Yeah, I only got that far.
Okay, got
That's
it.
cool. That's cool.
Excellent. What about, do you have one now, Cucumber? No. I got one. I feel like oh God, which one is it?
Don't fuck it
This is
up.
going
I'm
great.
I'm fucking it up. All right. Pass. Go back to you.
Jesus. I guess I feel like Egon. I'm a little
Okay.
spanglery. I think it's gonna be just because.
No good reason.
No, I mean,
What's good
I
reason?
feel like I want to grow my collection, but instead of spores, molds, and funguses, I want to grow my board game collection even larger. Because I've been on Kickstarter, and my God, it is
no.
beautiful. Yeah, I guess that's me. And I just, the excitement of it, the sort of grounded level-headedness that does not exist anywhere else in the Ghostbusters. That's where my head's at today.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for the amps and thanks for following.
Yeah,
Pew,
thanks.
pew, pew.
For those of us that don't know, we're on volume.com as well as YouTube. If you've never heard of volume.com, give it a look-see.
Scott just found out about it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I did, yeah. Very
Speaking of
excited
which-
to check it out after this.
Yeah. What Ghostbuster character do you feel like, Scott?
I'm actually going to go for a little bit of a trinity here.
Ooh.
Because I feel like in the mornings I wake up a little Louis Tully. You know?
Yes, have some.
Feeling a little discombobulated, but with also this certain sense of like naive whimsy, but mixed with a certain amount of Ray Stantz, because I also in the mornings I like to get into a little bit of esoterica and get a little metaphysical.
Yeah.
And then I try to get at the world with a certain amount of unabashed angst. And so I get a little Abby Yates, a little bit of the McCarthy character from the all female
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
A little bit of. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Scott was the only one who actually did this segment correctly.
I haven't gone yet. Thank you.
Oh, well.
Although I
It's
guess
true.
I also failed by thinking of one, so by not thinking of one. I think I'm feeling Dana Barrett today. Because
Very
it's just
nice.
like one thing after another. She feels like it's just she's trying her best. She's not doing anything wrong, but for some reason shit just keeps happening to her, and she rolls through it, and she gets through it with the help of her friends and her sometimes boyfriend, and you know what I mean. Like this is just like right and left. There's a lot of things going on in her life, and for some reason it just keeps happening to her. Yeah. What I'm saying, it's all about me, and I'm just kidding. No.
All right, so when you get in your flowy red robe,
Oh, I got one.
dope.
I didn't bring it.
All right,
Shit.
sweet.
Sorry.
Next time.
Next time. It's silk. It's very nice. Ryan, what about you? Come out from there. Stop hiding.
Oh,
There you
sweet
go.
Jesus fucking.
Yeah, he's over there.
That
Sorry, I
makes me
should have told you.
uncomfortable.
I'm feeling a little, maybe I'm feeling a little Janish today.
Janusz, all right.
Yeah, just a little possessed and
Just a bit.
By caffeine.
by caffeine. Yeah, like yeah, just trying to do my best and making sure everything works properly in the museum and just a little on edge.
You don't work in a museum.
I'm doing the bit, man.
Y'all.
Yeah. It's early.
That's why we keep him behind the set.
That's why he hides behind the video. Well, yay! Welcome everybody, and welcome Scott. Scott, tell the people who are you? What do you do? How many times a day do you scratch your chin? And often, yeah, with the beard, yeah, I get it.
It's more of a stroking, less of a scratching. But yeah. Which sounds. If you're
Great.
not watching the video, that statement's offensive. I mean, I'm a Gemini.
Yeah.
I play music. I was in a band called Real Big Fish for a long time. I had my own band called the Littlest Man Band. I also go under my own name because I figure I have it. I might as well use it. Or else if you don't use it, you lose it. I don't know how that works.
And you might. I don't know.
It's. Then I also do a Twitch stream 3 times a week under the name of Scott Klopfenstein on the platform of the Twitch.
Yes.
It's the Twitch, right? Or the Twitch?
I think it's a Twitch.
Oh, it's a Twitch.
No, it's the
A Twitch.
Sorry.
I have a Twitch.
Oh, that's true. You have more than
Oh,
a Twitch.
perfect. Well, that's fine.
For those of you on Twitch, feel free. Please. Oh, hi. How you doing?
What's up?
How you feeling? Feeling good? Okay.
need to
just
wake up.
Yeah, you're good. Just take a nap. It's okay. Oh, you sleep with your eyes open. That's creepy.
Do a lot of things with my eyes open.
Like making out. It's
I'm
real
uncomfortable.
weird.
Mom.
I think what's great about a statement like that is you really learn the level of your own interestingness, because it's all based on where your brain goes.
Yep.
It's like, oh.
Our brains
I like
go all
planning
over.
nightmare
Interesting
seeds.
people just go like, yeah, so does everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, please follow Scott on Twitch as well. I'll have links once I send them to Ryan, like I was supposed to.
You still haven't done that?
Shut up.
You would just take a minute right now and do it.
Well, I can take a minute. I have it.
No
right here.
time like
Scott,
the
what's your
future to
favorite
get
color?
things
We'll
done.
take over hosting duties.
Okay, good.
I do want to point out that I think Dino said he was excited to have you today. I don't think you understand how excited he is to have you here today. Because this man, no man that I know talks about Scott more than this guy does.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have. They have me out of context because in your community, people talk about you all the time. on the Twitch community, they freaking love you, man. And so I'm part of that community. So they only get to see this side of it. They don't get to see the side where everybody's already talking about you.
Right. I like to think it's a symbiotic relationship. I talk about about the community on Twitch all the time. It's like one of my, it's, because I feel I don't know if you feel this way too, but it's, what I like about it is it doesn't feel like this guy and then these people. It's a real mix-up kind of situation, and like especially
Absolutely.
with all the other like things added on like Discord and things like that. I mean, though I'm the one that gets to be on the screen and the whole 9 yards, like I feel like I'm just kind of jumping in with the thing,
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
everybody else.
I missed that completely.
Doing great.
I'm struggling.
It's definitely,
I'm listening.
it's a huge clubhouse, and this keeps getting bigger.
Don't
It's
mind
nice.
us, Wizard Me.
Yeah, no, take your
Cucumber and
time.
I will
Take your
sit down.
time. Just breathe into it. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Just say good news, bad news. Good news, bad news.
Good news, bad news. Good news. What is that from? I'm losing it. Anyways, Scott.
Yes.
I can do this at the same time, I swear. So let's start from the beginning. What got you into music? What got you into playing music?
Lack of friends.
That does it, yeah.
I mean, honestly, no, it was, I think what wound up happening is being a person who kind of always felt a little outsidey, and then I found, honestly, my family's very musical. So music was always a big part of how we did everything. We get together for family events, and everybody plays an instrument. And we sing songs, and
The woodland
four-part
critters come
harmonies
out and dance around you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think it was really anything that's kind of how I figured everybody's family was. And I didn't have a lot of friends, so I didn't have anything to reference it against. And then realizing that I didn't have any friends going through school. And then in 6th grade, I met actually a guy named Tyler Jacobs, who I've had on the show. He's a fantastic artist. He's also the pig bat from the Aquabats.
Yeah.
I got introduced. He came to my school in 6th grade, and then he introduced me. And then I met his brother and his whole family. His brother is Christian Jacobs, the Bat Commander, and they got me introduced instantly. Tyler gave me what did he give me? Well, my first ska record was Truth and Soul, Fishbone. And he gave it to me for my birthday, and it like blew my mind. And I was like, this is, and so then I got introduced to the Pixies and the Specials and the Selector and a bunch of new wave stuff. And from there I was like, oh, this is great. And then he's like, you can go see bands play in our area and the smaller shows. And I went to like one of my first local shows. I don't actually even remember what my first local show was. And I went, oh, this is my jam. Because it was like-minded people with weird clothing and crazy hair. And it was like, do what you want to do. You know what it was? It was the first time that I ever felt music felt like it was the first time I ever found a place where belonging was the point, not fitting in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It was like, it would totally come as you are. However you want to express yourself is totally okay as long as you're not harming somebody else, instead of like, you got to look this way, you got to act this way. This is, the cool thing. Because none of us were cool. And in that, we were free to be cool.
Yeah. That's how I describe ska to my friends, because I was, not to age myself completely, I was barely born in the 90s, in the beginning, in the 1990s. So I know. So I grew up with it, sort of, but a lot of my friends didn't listen to ska. I got it from my older cousins, and that's what really got me into it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and I heard Goldfinger. which is like the gateway. It's the
I
gateway.
mean,
No,
you're not
so many
wrong.
people. And it's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so and they talk about it in the ska movie, about how a lot of people go up to ska bands like, oh yeah, Goldfinger, that's what got me into it when I played pro skater. But I heard that and I asked my cousin because he was huge into all my cousins were into music a lot, and had bands and things, and so I asked him like, I don't know, like what is this? Like I've never heard this before, and they're like, oh, let me show you, and like Real Big Fish was like the first thing they brought up, and so I've been listening to it since I was a kid. I got to go to a couple Real Big Fish concerts. Only one with you, Scott, which was at the Grove in Anaheim with, oh God, who was playing that night? You guys were headlining with Suburban Legends, Starpool.
Hey, we know
yeah, we know Suburban Legends.
We do.
I feel like we shot a lot. Were we shooting a video? Were we filming that show?
Maybe. I think it was a ska fest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of bands. I believe Chase Long Beach was there and Half Past Two.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I just realized a lot of your chat is in our chat right now. So hi Gimpleg, hi Mango Stars,
Oh.
Hello.
El Drubaka, hello. A bunch of people are coming in from
Welcome, everybody.
Scotts. You're
What's
welcome.
up, gang? What's
Yeah,
up?
thanks for showing some love with us here.
Yo, yo.
Yeah.
What it do, baby? I don't know. I'm working
Nailed it.
on a new catchphrase. I don't like it.
By the way, I deeply apologize for the lack of interesting setting. This is,
Yeah, look at us. We tried, Scott. What are you doing?
yeah. I mean, it's like, well,
That's
our
for
space-
you.
So we share our space in our warehouse with some other people, and there's somebody who does like music lessons out of the space during the day. So I figured this would not be a welcomed addition to the music lesson teaching little kids to play piano. I was like, yeah, probably not.
Oh, I want to hear the
Probably not.
frustrated key slamming so bad. Like that's
Right?
I live for that.
like a
Oh
Bugs
yeah,
Bunny
listening
and
to kids. Yeah.
Let us know, let it doing.
Oh man, excuse me, I'm joking. I mean, growing up in that way, finally finding your people, the people that you realize like, yeah, this is my family, this is who I want to be with. Now, Real Big Fish wasn't your first. Oh hey, I didn't find you guys till my adulthood, so I guess that doesn't count. But
Oh, fuck you then. Jesus Christ. That'd be nice.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Oh. He's gonna hiss at me next. Jeez. I know. Real Big Fish was. I mean, you're the biggest thing that got you started. Got you like thrust into the limelight. But you had was it the Scholars? Was that before that? Real Big Fish?
Yeah, so Scholars came first. I was actually my very first band
Oh.
was an industrial, like electronic new wave band called
Dude.
Free State.
Free State.
And
Hook it up.
Free
Let's
State
go.
with my friend Ryan Jones. Shout out to Ryan Jones, because I'm sure Ryan's watching.
Oh, obviously.
It was like, because I was really my first like big concert was Depeche Mode.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, what is going on here? And so yeah, I got really into Depeche Mode, and but then even like this band called Front 242 and Einsterzende Neubauten and all sorts of interesting like electronic music that that was just so fun and so interesting and so weird. And it felt very juxtaposition to a lot of the like agitated guitar rock that I was listening to. Like I wanted this kind of balance of like a lot of like, Dinosaur Jr. and Sonic Youth. And then you have on the other hand, New Order or like Erasure or Nine Inch Nails, early Nine Inch Nails. And so that was technically my first, and then my friend Ryan Jones is like, I don't know if your singing is working because it's too musical theater. And I was like, fair enough. And I was like, that makes sense. And then I joined the Scholars not long after that.
Yeah.
So the Scholars was technically my first like full like band, ska band. I was just actually, so we have the show coming up on August 13th at the Garden Amphitheater in Garden Grove.
Oh, hey.
If I can, shameless push.
Please.
And,
Summer Sizzler.
And yeah, the Summer Sizzler, the first annual Summer Sizzler.
Yeah.
Which
I'll
I
be
love
there.
that you really like when you say like the first annual. You just hear annual. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it sounds so official, and you're like, it just means we're doing this one time, and we'll see what happens next year. But I'm having members of my band. Well, so my band, The Scholars, is playing it. And then some of those members were also in the Littlest Man Band. So I was just rehearsing with the bass player Jake, because he's going to join me for my set. Members of the Littlest Man Band are going to join me for my set.
Oh, cool.
And we'll play some Littlest Man Band tunes. And we were just talking about how we started rehearsing in a garage with no light. Honestly, no. We had to rehearse in the dark. Like all we had was the light from underneath the garage door.
This sounds very familiar, Chuck.
Yeah, and we rehearsed in our underwear. I mean, because it was too hot.
Very familiar.
It was so hot. And and it's one of those things that only like dudes in high school are necessarily comfortable to do. Is it's just like, oh yeah, let's just all strip to our underwear, chain smoke cigarettes in a completely pitch dark garage, and play ska music far too loud. And then like his mom would come, my friend mom would come and open up the door, and smoke would come wafting out, light would come in as if we were Nosferatu. And we're all naked and pale. Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, as an adult, opening the garage door to see just almost naked youths in a cloud of smoke?
I just close it and put a padlock on it.
Right.
Oh man.
Ugh, I don't know. I don't even want to know what this is. You guys have fun.
Yeah, right. It's just like.
Yep. Gimplex says, is Scott performing with the Scholars, Littlest Man Band, and Scott Klopfenstein? Well, he is Scott Klopfenstein, so that means that
Well,
one's
yeah.
for sure.
So it's gonna be. Well, so the Scott Klopfenstein set is. I'm putting a group of musicians to play with. Wow, I'm going to say this whole sentence out of order, so I'm going to start over.
Sure.
Never mind. I'm going to chuck it and fucking start it. The cats that are going to be playing with me are going to be it's going to be Jake, the bass player, Greg Parkin, our drummer, and then Jesse Wilder is also going to be joining us. And I'm going to try to get horn players for it as well. Just there's very little time for rehearsal.
Yeah.
And we planned a vacation back to the East Coast, like right in the middle of the rehearsal time. So next Wednesday I leave to go back to the East Coast for like 2.5 weeks. Which we also decided to like plan the longest vacation I've ever taken in my entire life. Right?
Of course.
So well, yeah, I don't like to do anything without a certain amount of pending doom.
Yeah.
I can't go on vacation without unimaginable amounts of anxiety.
I play a mean
'cause then it wouldn't
clarinet if
be
you need a
fun.
clarinet player.
I'll keep that in mind.
I don't see a lot of clarinet
Clarinet's
players in
always
ska bands.
good. You know what? That's a crying shame.
Yeah, it's the time for one.
Shoot. It's
Yeah.
time. It's time for a good ska clarinet. Although I did see my friend's band had a bass clarinet play in there.
Oh yeah,
for the low end of the
that's
brass.
dope.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was Cal State Fullerton. There's a group that was playing like on the campus and around the area, and they had a bass clarinet as the low end of the brass, and I was like, that is
cool.
awesome.
I can play a slide whistle.
Good.
All right.
Excellent. Let's all kind of slide away from Q.
Yeah, it's good for musical turnarounds. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Musical turnarounds.
You know what I think that it just came to me. I think the slide whistle is the old-timey equivalent of when the emo band throws their guitars around and they do the loop and comes back around. That's what a slide whistle is. It's the old-timey musical equivalent to the
Yes.
Weirdest vaudevillian transition.
right? Yeah.
Oh God, we need a slide whistle in here. That's what we need.
Train
It's
whistle.
got a train whistle.
There's no
for hype
stage managers to
trains.
yell at us anymore.
Scott has a train whistle for hype trains.
It only
Get on
took
it.
me 10 months of talking about it to get it done, and I didn't get it done. G. Scott did.
That's. Oh man, G Scott, wherever you are, by the way, we love you too.
I don't know you.
Yes, G Scott runs. He's our Ryan.
He's the only way I get up in the morning.
Oh.
Oh, adorable.
I mean, besides my wife and children, but like,
Oh, yeah, I
you know,
mean-
to get work done.
Yeah, that's contractual. I get it.
Yeah.
This thing back here is creepy as fuck with this big in the screen.
No, it's
I'm not
beautiful.
I'm not
It's
used
gorgeous.
to seeing it this big on screen.
What are you talking
I don't
about?
like it.
You got two
Just take
cucumbers.
me all in.
It's like he's not really looking at anything
Little cucumber
specific.
bookends. It's nice.
Yeah. He keeps an eye on reality for me.
No, the cucumber
Nobody else
bookends are
does.
for his OnlyFans.
That's right.
That's one of the things. By the way, Scott, we're on our Patreon. If we get to a certain point, we're gonna make an OnlyFans for
Who's
this guy.
we? I'm making it, and I'm gonna fucking rock
Nice.
it.
I was gonna actually say, is that the real doll version of cucumber?
Oh man,
Nobody
can you
touch
imagine
it.
me
Nobody
with
touch it.
silicone flesh?
Ew.
How terrifying that would be.
Oh, don't make a noise. Oh. The fuck? I don't like it. Gimplex says that G Scott's hiding in the beard right now.
Oh, and thank you, Jordan and Vicky, for those apps. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
thank you.
Yeah. Cindy the Yummy Geek, Vicky, and Jordan, thank you so much for being there in volume. So you had the scholars, and then how because you weren't in Real Big Fish from the beginning, right? You kind of joined a little, like, slightly after.
Well,
ish.
So, the original iteration of Real Big Fish started in like 92.
Batman the
and
Animated
I had
Series, a
actually-
very good year, a very good year.
Yeah. And so I saw Real Big Fish play in that. It was kind of like this weird. Of course it was. It was, a high school band. It always starts as a white boy funk band. But it was like REM-ish kind of like, and there was like funk and soul and stuff. And so I saw them play at a school carnival, and I was like, this band is awesome. I want to be in this band. And then that broke up like a little bit later, and Aaron Barrett, the lead singer and guitarist from Real Big Fish, started like kind of a new project, and he called me up because he knew I played trumpet, and I went and did a couple rehearsals with him, and then that kind of fell apart. And then they started back up again in early 94 with the name Real Big Fish, but with Dan and Tavis on the horns and Matt Wong on bass and Andrew Gonzalez on drums. And then we asked Aaron to come play trombone in the Scholars for a while, because he came to our very first show. He's like, you guys are awesome. This is so much fun. I had met Aaron playing a game of leapfrog across our campus, where I used to sit and eat lunch alone.
Oh.
Because I was a new school and I didn't have any friends, and then I saw this group of people playing leapfrog across the campus, and it was a school club called the Cajun Cooking Club, which did no cooking whatsoever. And so then I saw them playing leapfrog, and I just watched, and somebody who actually is our Dan Regan's wife now said, you can join in and leapfrog if you want. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. So we did that, and then all of a sudden I met Aaron, and then I got introduced to some other people. But
Doing
then,
that at our next mixer.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, wait, back up.
Oh.
Like literal leapfrog? Like,
literal leapfrog. Yeah. Yeah, just across the school campus. And it was it's a good size school campus. And so Aaron came and started playing trombone for us, and then Dan and Tavis got grounded from Real Big Fish because their grades were starting to slip. And so Aaron was like, I need you and Grant Barry who was a trombone player for the Scholars and Real Big Fish, to come and fill in when they can't do it. So we showed up to rehearsals, and there was a rehearsal that Dan and Tavis showed up to, and all of a sudden we had this big horn section, and Aaron was like, okay, whoever can show up, this is the best. And now we watch videos and we're like, oh, the best is a loose interpretation of what that actually was, but it was loud.
Oh yeah.
But it was, I mean, like when we were tight, but that was not the standard at that point. But no, and that's how we kind of got into Real Big Fish. And then I didn't like actually sing at first. I just, at a certain point, I was like, hey, it sounds like there could be a harmony here. And Aaron was like, put it in. So, yeah. And then the rest is ska history.
The rest is ska history.
As they say, whoever they are.
You did. You just did, I guess.
Dino.
I said it too.
Am I a part of the they? Then we need to define whether the they is a good thing.
Morning, gang. Oh, is that Wiccan? Hi, Chris. Chris Wiccan's in the chat.
Hey, what's up, Wiccan? Or it's Night Wiccan now.
Oh, it's Night Wiccan. That's right. Night Wiccan. It changed. Hi, welcome.
Looking over Bloodhaven, are we?
But thanks for all you people from Scottstream to come over and showing support over here. We really appreciate it.
We do.
But yeah, just feel free to subscribe, by the way, and join us for other nerdy stuff. If you like D&D, you might want to subscribe because these fuckers
painting or chatting about movies or talking to interesting people or saying fuck a lot.
Saying fuck a lot. If you like to say fuck, join us. So yeah, and the rest is history. Now, Real Big Fish, you guys had a great run. I mean, they're still running, they're still going, but it's not like they're done.
Right.
But you made the decision to leave, and if you're comfortable with it, I'd love to hear the thought process behind that, like why that happened, why you decided to make that decision for yourself. Look at me, I know words.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so I joined the band when I was 16.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And we started touring not long after. I mean, like touring wasn't as intense as it became, but it's like, I mean, we were going away, and I think, and then my wife and I. So at a certain point, my wife and I wanted to have children, and we were touring 6 to 9 months out of the year, and so that just wasn't as conducive to being the type of father and husband that I wanted to be in that situation. And I think also, and I think this happens with a lot of people, and it's a really difficult decision to make on certain levels. It's like, I'd been doing it for so long that you kind of lose perspective. And so touring constantly, and while I still enjoyed doing what I was doing, is I didn't feel as connected to it as I wanted to, as I felt like the people deserved. You know what I mean? Like, there's a responsibility, I feel like, as an entertainer, that if at a certain, there's a certain point to which, like, I got to do this, and so you get up and you do it, and it's like, and then you're doing it and you're having a great time. But I think also there are times in which you need to reevaluate where the art and the creation of the art and the maintenance of the art sits in your mind, body, spirit kind of situation. And so I kind of had to take a break from it to re-fall in love. It's like a relationship where, you start to take things for granted. You don't really, I mean, I had been touring and for most of my adult life, and I had people who took care of me, and it's also a little microcosm. Like, you don't really know what's going on in the rest of the world as far as the day in, day out of most people, right? Most people don't show up to work and sign autographs and have people do things for them, and then have people. It's a weird experience, and it's beautiful, and it's so. I mean, like, I'm so grateful for it, and I love to be able to continue to do it. But I did need to take kind of a break to go, like, the beauty of the underlying thing of it all, right? Like what motivated me to do it in the first place had become a little murky. And so I had to step away, and I needed to pay attention to being what I consider a regular, real person. I wanted to see what it was like to do day in, day out at a regular job. You know, see how, because like if my job as an artist is to make art that then is effectual and interpretive to other people, then I should probably understand what that experience is like. Make it, you know, to make something relatable and valuable and useful instead of just more fucking white noise. So that was what I wanted to do, and it was unbelievable culture shock to me to get into the typical workforce and realize, and just day-to-day public. I mean, because, you know, you go from a tour bus to a backstage to a radio station to a TV station to a recording studio to, you know, it's a part of whatever it is. But to realize, A, how people treat each other, which is deeply sad. The way people feel about themselves a lot of times when they're out in public, which is deeply sad. You know, and that whole thing, and it's like, okay, now I have a purpose, now I have a focus, now I have a place to try to fit in and figure out how to create something that not only creates catharsis and connection, but also gives people an opportunity to feel lifted up and seen and like realize that there's hope. And that was like, honestly, even on a subconscious level, I think I knew that was only going to be possible if I stepped away from doing Real Big Fish. And I felt like somebody else needed to take that space that was going to be able to bring what the fans deserved. Aaron deserved that as a band leader. I mean, like it's no small feat to do what he has done with Real Big Fish, and you know, he needs everybody on his team to be on his team, you know? And so it was like, I actually was really okay with going, hey, I'm going to step away for a bit and let, you know, Matt did a great job, and, you know, the band did great over, you know, those 10 years. And I would go and see and play when I could and what have you. And, you know, and the kids, and they continued to make great music. And so, but that's why I did it. It's like, as an artist, I don't do stagnation. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me useless. And I have found nothing but misery in predictability and stagnation.
Yeah, I completely understand. And that idea of like taking a step back and like looking at what you have and be like, okay, this is something I love. And yes, hi.
I'm just taking a step back.
And look. Oh,
don't worry about it.
Slightly uncomfortable yet turned on. Anyways,
that's the best way to go.
Also, Tuxedo Hammer popped in too. Hey, buddy. You said I must have had more to drink last night than I thought. Sorry, but welcome. We're happy here. All the big hitters in the stream, in Scott's stream, are coming to say hi, and I love it. But yeah, so you left to do a normal job. What was that normal job, if you don't mind me asking?
So I did a few things, actually. I worked at a small tech support company in Manhattan called Mac Tech. They're still around. They're fantastic. If you live in the New York area and need your computer fixed, and you're looking for somebody who supports Mac, great company, great people. And so I did that for a while, and I realized, especially coming, you know, it's a difficult transition to go from 5,000 people screaming your name a night to someone going, "Are you fucking stupid? Do you not know how to fix this thing?" So that was tough, and to be, I mean, I have no problems admitting my shortcomings. In fact, that's why I'm generally pretty good at doing what I do, is because I'm like, oh, I am wildly familiar with all of my shortcomings. Let me put them in song form for you. But yeah, so I did that for a little while, but then for some reason they were like, oh, maybe we could phase you out of this and you could do more admin stuff. So I started doing more admin stuff and like doing payroll for them, which was much more fun, because I was like in the office. It's a communal office. So I did that for a long time. I tried sales for a little while at a storage company in Manhattan, and I worked in like the call center. And that was also kind of the same situation where people would say some of the most horrible. Nobody calls. I don't know why I did this. I chose to work at companies that nobody calls when things are great. People go to shows and they're like excited to be there, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have a good time and dance around. And I was like, I know it'll be a great transition. Let's go to do work for things where the people only call when shit has hit the fan.
Yeah, they're already frustrated.
Already angry, and like, I thought that my frail ego that had been stroked so meticulously and unrelentingly, would be able to withstand that. And when people curse you out on a day-to-day basis because they're frustrated and they need to take it out on you, it makes it really hard to like look at yourself in the miror and get up and
Ryan?
go.
Yeah, fuck Ryan.
So it's so I did that for a little while, and then they fired me, and I thanked them because I was not good at it. And they called me in. They're like, "I'm sorry, we have to let you go." I was like, "Oh, I'm aware of it. That made you kept me this long." I was like, "You have a company to run. This is not working out. I appreciate the opportunity, but this is not. I'm not good at this." And they were like looking at me like, "What?" And I packed up my stuff, and I they had a security guard there with me, and I was like, "You don't gotta watch. I'm gonna run out of here." Like, I'm leaving. And I like hit the streets, and it's like Manhattan, and it's like midday, and I've got like my stuff in a box and a backpack, and it's you've seen this. And I call my wife. I was like, "They just let me go," and she's like, "Oh, thank God, let's go to dinner." And because I was a miserable human being doing it, and then I went back to work for that same company that I was doing for tech support. They offered me back, and then after that, I'm sure this is a fascinating delve into my entire employment career over the past 10 years. And then I have some friends who run a fantastic fine foods market and craft brewery bar called Meckelberg's that is in Brooklyn.
What's it called?
If you happen to be in Meckelberg's.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's a small place. It's there's a lot. It's like the Long Beach of the East Coast. But
That's where we are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people in Brooklyn. They're like, "Oh, hey, motherfucker."
That's how you know you're there.
But it's so right, totally. Wait, I'm trying to center myself in the thing. There we go. They asked. I started working there because it was my friend's shop, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to do something that's more on your feet, more with people?" I was like, "Absolutely." So I became a cheesemonger, and as we spoke before, I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 months of grueling apprenticing. Because you've got to eat so much cheese. Like, so much cheese. And every day coming home is just like all...
They don't give you like a spit bucket or anything? Like, I feel like there was a choice to be made here.
No, it's not like a wine tasting, It's not but which I also find that wildly offensive. Is it's like, look, somebody made this. For it to go into a trash can or a bucket seems a little bit of like a... It seems like a little bit of a...
agree.
I gotta know how good
for the sake of wine, but I'm saying for the sake of your intestines, like maybe... just
hey, I am used to suffering for the art. You know what I mean?
Amen, brother.
A little bit of uncomfortable. I'm in for it. So I did that for a while, and then when COVID hit, I mean, that was people didn't really want cheese
For some reason.
Yeah. And then, but I was also doing the payroll for that company, and then when we decided to move out here, I did that. Continued to do that for a little while, and then G. Scott was like, "Can we put you back to work doing music stuff?" He's like, "Do you care?" And I was like, "Oh, please." Please take me
I am
back.
far too interested in
But you know what was
cheesemongering.
largely effectual is what was that?
I said I'm far too interested in cheesemongering. I do have a question. Of all the cheeses you tasted
Oh,
in all
please,
that time,
it is-
what is like
it's a
the
weird-
bomb ass cheese? Like what's the cheese
bomb-ass
that
cheese.
that was worth the pain?
So there were a few. I mean, there's a cheese called Aprisole that is that's fantastic. It's a nice like Alpine cheese. There is. I have to say though, my favorite is, and you can get this at most places that serve fine cheeses. But there is a cheese called Harbison, and it's a little tiny wheel like this, and it's just like, you probably wouldn't eat it by yourself, but you cut off the top of it and you just eat what's called the meat, which feels weird about cheese, but you just kind of eat it like from inside the thing. It is, and it's wrapped in spruce bark.
Ooh.
And it is so delicious. It's a super creamy cheese.
Harbison?
But Harbison, yeah, and it's
Oh, that's
and I'm
happening.
trying to remember the name of the company that makes it. I mean, all this stuff I used to know, up, down, and sideways. But yeah, so there were. I mean, it was an interesting thing, and again, it's like wildly esoteric, and it was really neat to be able to sit there and go to people's houses and be like, oh, cheese, yeah, and
I
but
want
at
to
the
add
same
monger
time, like,
to my resume at any point. That's just so cool.
well, here's the interesting thing about that word is I only know it being applied in two places: cheese and war.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fish! Don't forget fishmongers.
Oh, fishmonger.
Yes.
Fishmonger. I apologize.
Yes.
Killmonger.
He had a point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Was there a
So
particular
it's-
cheese that hurt more than others? Is it one I should avoid completely?
Yes, we're both lactose intolerant
Oh.
over here.
But there was this cheese, like, so this thing where people would come up to the counter and they'd be like, I like blue. And I'm trying to remember the name of this cheese. We had a blue cheese that was it was relatively unedible. And it came from Spain. And it was like, whenever people were like, I love blue, give me the stinkiest blue. And I was like, the stinkiest blue? And they're like, oh yeah. And then you would just give them a taste of this and like, too much. And, oh God, I wish I could remember what it was. And we never, I mean, like, no one bought it. No one. We had a...
Maybe it went bad years ago.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, well, like, that was the thing is we ordered it, and I was like, oh, okay, and I was ready to taste, and I did the tasting, and I was like, who's going to? I was like, is this how it's supposed to go? And he's like, it is. It's considered a fine cheese, and I was like, that.
Did you ever do any of that,
I'm not
like
sure.
that black market cheese, like the ones with the maggots in it from across the pond? Oh gosh, what's
No.
it called? Man, that one's nuts.
Oh, no.
It's a delicacy.
No, I mean, blue cheese itself is a little hard to like, especially. I mean, you know, like it goes into a cave and gets moldy, and that's and then we enjoy it more.
Yeah, same
And
with
you're like-
junk.
You know.
Yeah, it's
But,
cheese is a love-hate relationship for me.
Chris says, I've heard an adult video store clerk referred to as a porn monger. So there you go, another monger to the list. Ironmonger.
Ironmonger, yes,
Lots of
right.
Marvel mongers.
Yeah, a lot of comic book mongers, not so much in the real world. Sorry, we took a big sidetrack. I just
You're
feel like we always talk, like, I'm sure you get asked about your music career all the time, but not as much about the stuff you did in between. And I like knowing like the other things
Yeah.
because you did it for a reason, so you might as well
Yeah. It's people. I like
Yeah.
people. I think
Same.
people are interesting, and the thing I liked about the cheesemongering and working at the store was I realized the problem with the first two jobs was I like being a part of people's self-care.
Yeah.
The grocery store and the food and stuff, and a lot of it was like really interesting and it was artisan brands and it was a lot of local Brooklyn stuff. But it's all about people's self-care and how they like treat themselves when they want to like celebrate something, or they like, had a hard day and they need a snack, or they want to eat a certain meal to comfort themselves that reminds them of something. Like, that's what I like being a part of, is people's self-care. There are people who I think are fantastic problem solvers, and that's what they want to do. And I mean, and music to itself is a puzzle, but at the root of it is really like figuring out how to give something that's more human and honest, regardless of the complexity or delivery system. It's all about people's need to like nurture something organic and a little intangible about their existence on this planet.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me, the way that you can tap into when you're giving somebody what they would need or what they want. It opens them up to like sharing more about themselves and finding out who. I've been fortunate to work in theme parks, where we get to make people happy with our performing and our work and everything.
Those days are over. No happiness for anybody.
Exactly. But yeah, with at Knott's Berry Farm with Ghost Town Alive, we did it's fully immersive. Mostly immersive, I should say. And we get to like let kids play make believe, and then adults come in too, and they're like, oh, I want to be a cowboy. Okay. And then all of a sudden, like that door opens, and you start finding out more about who they are, and they start like realizing, oh, I can be a kid still, and I can still be an adult.
People are allowed to have fun. Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to be part of that.
Yeah, I think that's. I was just reading, and I was reading something yesterday, and it was talking about how the joke was, we spend the first couple years of a child's life teaching it to walk and talk, and then from 3 until 18 we spend the rest of that time telling him to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we do so much to prepare ourselves for connection and expression, and then we have created this societal norm where like the things that we can then do with that ability continue to get made smaller and smaller and smaller, based on what we deem we're supposed to be comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
Or we're comfortable with to the degree that we can then commoditize it,
Yeah.
So it's we have really created such a conundrum for ourselves as a species that it's been really great for the self-help industry.
Oh yeah, being human is hard.
Yeah.
Human.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Being a felted friend is hard too.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Sorry.
We're tiny.
Yeah. I mean,
It's being a sentient being.
being a
just say.
there you go.
That's
Being a
right.
sentient
There you
being is difficult.
So Ryan's got it made.
Ryan, put down the nipple clamps. It's okay. Sorry, Scott, that's out of
Now
context for you.
don't put down the nipple clamps, Ryan. You do you.
Just do it in private, please. No one wants to see that.
Can you imagine if we allowed more people in public with nipple clamps, though? What a world we'd live in.
Right? It's just like we'd be more accepting as a species, I think.
I mean, yeah, actually. Everyone
If
needs
people
to
just
chill
got used to
the fuck
that,
out.
be like, you know what, that's a thing now. Fine, okay.
Hey, you may not have been to clubbing before, but I have, and there's plenty of nipple clamps in clubs if you go to the right one.
Well, of course. The ones that are underneath
It's
the
a shitstorm
dungeon.
when they all get
Before we
tangled
start
together.
any defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitchie's in the chat. What chat time in person? No chairs though. Oh yeah, the chairs are.
Yeah, we're
work in
floating.
Progress. We're floating. We had a fancy armchairs for the Felted Friends, and we're
They need
working on
adjustment.
it.
They were too
They're getting
comfortable.
reupholstered.
Yes, they need to be reupholstered. So bringing it back to music. So I mean, you had Little Man Band, and you were releasing music after you left Real Big Fish. Was that all in New York as well, or did you wait till you came back here? Because it had to be.
We did a little bit while I was still in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had recorded Welcome to New York and the Hilarious while I was in New York with a friend of mine named Brian Taylor, who was I don't even. It's one of those things like, you meet somebody and you don't actually remember where you met him. But I met him when he was an NYU student at the New School studying engineering and music production. And I kid you not, we recorded those tunes in an NYU dorm room.
Whoa, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, like there were parts of it that I think the horns for the Hilarious we did at, in this attic in Hoboken. And those are the horns those are the guys from Streetlight Manifesto.
Oh, I love Streetlight.
We had them come in. Yeah, and they were, I mean, like, it was such a fun experience because it's a 13-piece horn arrangement that we did with 4 dudes. So like every step of the way, they were like, "Ooh, this is not going to sound good," and we're like, "Trust the arrangement, please, just trust the arrangement." And then at the end of the day, they were like, "Oh, crazy," which is all to actually the Brian Taylor has a twin brother, Ben Taylor, who sat down and helped me with the arrangements. I was like, "This is my idea," and he's like, "How can I make that make sense? Because that's insane." And I was like, "That's your job." I was like, "I want the man on the flying trapeze in here," and he's like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, so we did those there, and they kind of sat for a little while. And then G. Scott was like, "Hey, let's get things going." And he had started tinkering around on my social media and saying like, "Hey, get on, do some stuff." And I was like, "Okay." Because in my mind, I was like, I don't know that I had taken so long, and the way that people's memory works these days, and this is not a judgment, this is just a stating of the way that the world is, and I don't label good or bad, it just is, and you have to figure out how you work within it.
Yeah.
It's like people's memories are short, and the distractions are aplenty. And so I was like,
Fuck, get back here.
Oh shit!
And I didn't know that anybody would have cared, And so he was like, "Well, let's see what social media happens." And then the ska documentary came about.
Yeah.
And we did that, and I saw that people still cared, and not just like people that are my age, but people in their 20s and 30s, and even some teenage people that were like, dude, like that are still active in the ska scene and making it happen. And so it was like, I remember being a teenager in the ska scene and looking at these older bands and members and artists that like I then got to work with in my 20s, and how I perceived them was very different than how I figured I would be perceived. And I had to open up that like conduit to my younger self and going like, oh, the amount of judgment that I am going to put on myself is I'm not going to be perceived by them the way that I perceive myself. There's going to be far less scrutiny, far less systemic shame, and that kind of thing. So I was like, I want to kind of get back to work. And so G. Scott was like, you're an idiot. And then my creative partner is this fantastic writer named Katia McMullen. And she was largely supportive in getting back to work too. So I had been doing, she was a theater writer in New York, and so she had been asked essentially once a year. She would be like, "Hey, let's do a project," and so I would compose music for a theater project for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it just kind of kept me working and writing and thinking and evolving as an artist and seeing what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, getting to work with so many different people with so many different backgrounds and perspectives and experiences was exciting, and was also neat to be able to make music that you then hand over to somebody else that they imbue with meaning that is specific to their experience. And it takes my art that like I can only give what I have, and if you take something and you hand it over to somebody else, they can take it someplace completely different, And then you really get to see that we are all only conduits to something much larger than ourselves, because the art has its own life. And it's like, they're not my songs. They're just songs that I'm lucky enough to stumble upon when I'm in an open space and then hand off. I mean, it's like when I wrote Drunk Again, and you know, it was a very heartfelt song for me. It was a pivotal time in my life, and I had a lot of things going on. And I will never forget, we were playing a show somewhere, and this woman comes up to me, and she's like, "I love that song, Drunk Again. It's so funny." I was like, that was not where that, okay, that's her interpretation.
Yeah.
And she's absolutely welcome to it. And that's the beauty of the whole thing, is it's like, it's not necessarily always about me. It's about what I'm willing to participate in to be able to hand off to somebody else to have an experience. And that's the, you know, and that's what I got to learn from doing theaters. It's like, you know, though, like, you know, there were posters and things that said music by Scott Klopfenstein, like, you know, and I was, you know, the actors were the ones who got to shine. Yeah. And that's the beauty, you know, is just like, this got to be not about me, but I got to play a part in it, you know, which was nice when I also like wasn't ready for, like, you know, to be doing this kind of thing again.
Yeah, it's a transition.
I got to kind of take a back seat. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. That's a different feeling than when you get accolades for what you do versus, you know, lifting somebody else up to get accolades. It's a different feeling of accomplishment. You know, it's a different feeling of, oh, I'm awesome. It's less about that and more like, oh man, I can do that. I can make other people feel awesome. And it's a different. It's like finding a new way to a new flavor of cheese. For example, they're just like, oh man, this is possible also? Wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean that should be what our goals. I mean, it's something I say at the end of my stream all the time. Is it's like my experience when I wake up in the morning, and this is not the way it's always been. So it's like, this was something that was shared with me at a certain point in my life, and so I feel like it's important to share with others. Is it's like when I wake up in the morning as a white, straight, cis male, my job, and I say that as because I can only speak again from my perspective. I leave my house and I have a certain experience based on who I am, and it's different for everybody else. And so it's like, but my job, as I see it, is to go out into the world with an attitude of 100% patience, tolerance, love, and service, and largely without expectation of return. And I have to believe that the universe will then, in turn, take care of me in a way that it deems is necessary, and then to be grateful for that experience and then continue to pass it on. And it's like, you know, I don't do that perfectly. But that's the job. That's the deal. That's why I make music. That's why I help raise my kids. That's why I'm married to my wife. That's why I'm a brother. It's why I'm a son. It's why I'm a person. It's why I do anything. And I feel like if we taught that to people, you know, if we handed that message out a little more, then it would be interesting to see why people show up to work every day. It would be interesting to see what industries flourish and which industries kind of fall by the wayside because they're not necessary. And now, I mean, I'm not the person to make that judgment call, but I think that there are times where we go like, is this just something that like perpetuates scarcity and shame in our society that keeps people like kind of at a distance from one another? Or does it really like lift people into a place where it's like we can realize that doing stuff together is, though difficult, is the way to go.
Yeah.
But what the fuck do I know?
If you got this real inner peace thing going, how much? I would like to buy it from you.
It's a crapshoot every day. Some days I'm much better than others. Yeah, I've got my interview face on, so it's like, oh, it's all very zen. It's all very good. But there, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, and it's like I say on my chat too. It's like I do not do any of this perfectly. I have my absolute shithead days, you know. Yeah. And it's why I'm very lucky to have the people in my life that I do, because they tell me flat out, they're like, "You're being an idiot." You know.
We all do that very
and that's
well.
why, you know.
Constantly.
It's important. I gotta know, because it also allows me to be able to be like of service to them when they're having a hard time going my best friend Katya McMullen, she and I have this thing back and forth where it's like, if I said this to you, what would your response be to me? When I say things to her and I go, oh, I'd say you're fucking nuts. And she goes, yeah. So you're fucking nuts. And I go, oh, fair enough. Okay.
Oh yeah, right.
But yeah.
You mentioned your screen, which that's one of the things I love about your streams is that you always end up with positivity and you end it with kind of a call to action in a way to get like encourage people to go out and be a positive influence in the world. What brought you to the Twitch stream? Like what was the thing that kind of said like, hey, let's go see what this is about?
Well, we were trying to figure out how to play shows. Like I wanted to start playing more live shows, and we were in the midst of a pandemic, and so we tried YouTube, and it didn't have the communal aspect that we wanted it to. And yeah, like we stumbled upon Twitch, and we started watching streams, and I honestly the first thing we got on Twitch, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. Here on the West Coast, and we started watching this dude. We've never found him again. He must have been in his like late 60s, early 70s, but he DJs, and it was the trippiest. I mean, like he was laying down the jams, like it was so good, and he had all these trippy effects and stuff. And we were watching, and then I kid you not, we still don't know how it happened. He all of a sudden just went up into the sky, and we were like,
"The
fuck!" Came back in this door, and we were like, "Wait, what?" And then he's like, "Let me call in my brother." And this brother dude, without a shirt on, came on, and he was like, he's in his like mid 40s and like not super, but he was like down with his body and like doing a thing, and we were just like, this is our community, because he was getting the craziest numbers, and we were like, this is what we want. We want the place where it's like everyone's down for something interesting, totally like accepting, like they're like, this is weird, I don't understand it, let me watch and see where it goes. Like that's what I like. I don't want something that creates a certain amount of comfort or familiarity, or lives within a certain type of parameter. Like, I mean, like this. What are we? This is fantastic. It's early in the morning, and we've got two felt friends, and we talk about whatever and like it's like, what do we got go like okay, and I think it's beautiful that we have our felt friends here.
Yes,
I'm reminded of the first episode of The Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
There's a scene. There's a part in it where Zoot comes out and plays a song. It's not funny.
Uh-huh.
It's nothing. It's a beautiful arrangement, and it's totally heartfelt. And if you're the right space and you're the right person, you will watch that and be moved. Mm-hmm. And your brain for a hot second will be like, wait a second. I'm watching. I'm really watching. And then you go, shut up. This is beautiful. And that's what I find on Twitch more often than not. It's like, I don't need to question a lot of what I'm watching. It's just about having an experience that is like in a moment, being supported by people all over the world who just want to watch a moment happen and like not feel like there have to be rules and parameters of acceptability, because that bullshit is so fucking over.
Yeah.
It's fucking over.
I think because of things like the pandemic, unfortunately, but and people latching on to the creative world in their own way, and Twitch and everything, and finding their own voice, I feel like people are starting to get that more. Is that there's so much more to being open and accepting than there is to being closed off in your own world. When we were forced to be closed off into our old world, and we're now like, no, I need more, and so like people are now like reaching out and looking for those things that normally they might have been blind to because of work and the stress of their daily life. When that got disrupted, they were able to find that, and creatives like us had to find a new way to do things too, and explore new ways of making content, and music and theater and things like that. And I feel like overall, once we're able to get through this and get over any of the trauma that exists because of this, that the creative world and the world in general.
Look at me when you said trauma.
Many reasons. I can list them later. Let's start with your real doll over there.
Yeah. And whatever happened to your face?
Anyways.
Wow.
See, we had to bring it back to some punch drunkery after that heartfeltness. I think that's what happened.
Oh, please, yes.
Obviously. But I really appreciate your streams. I hopped in on a whim because I knew you were doing them for a while, and I wasn't able to tune in until about 3 months ago. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. And I love that you bring in everybody from the stream. You say thank you to everybody. You interact. You take song requests, which is fantastic, obviously. But you really made a community, so much so that they're in our chat now because they love you so much.
Yay.
So I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to be part of that community.
Thank you. This is super crazy, but I have to pee so bad. Can I run away for a hot second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Go for it.
I'm like, oh. Okay, hold on.
And we'll wrap up when you get back. So we got time now. How you feeling?
So let's talk about your trauma.
Let's talk about my trauma. Okay.
How you feeling? What's
So
going on?
let's see. One of the first times I interacted with you, Cucumber, was during the filming of the dating videos for Quarter to One. That was that was a little inappropriate. I felt like you came on very strong. I think it was
Clear
the
with
first.
my intentions.
That's fair. It's very fair. There was that one time I was sleeping and I woke up with you breathing on the back of my neck, and
You looked cold.
I was. Maybe that was it. Okay.
Yeah, I was just warming you up.
Well, I think I'm coming around, Cucumber.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be.
It's weird that you woke up when he was breathing on your back and not when he was rubbing up against you.
I dreamt about it. I wasn't sure if it was real. Now I know. Now I'm back around. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's not
I went
bad.
a
No.
full 360 and back around to the trauma now. Sorry, buddy.
Just a little bit of spelling.
Yeah.
As
Love
Wicked
grinding.
says, he can go for 3 hours in the studio, but he can't do 35 minutes in the morning. I mean,
It's coffee time.
It's
This is a rough
coffee.
bathroom time for everybody. Let's be honest. This
That's
is
true.
I just woke up. Probably. Never mind. I'll stop there. Hey, Beethoven. How's it going?
Beethoven.
What's up?
Welcome in volume. For those of you that don't know, we're going to talk about Morgan later. But Scott is on Twitch. So any of you friends who are not already from his Twitch channel, go ahead and subscribe, follow, do whatever you can to support him. It's lots of fun, lots of music and silliness. The community is great. So if you like music, he does covers of lots of different songs, not just the ones that he wrote or played in. So it's really cool, and you get to request them. When do we do Dr. Know-It-All? As soon as he gets back, we're gonna do Dr. Know-It-All,
Yeah.
Mitchie. I promise. I have many questions in general. Okay, I don't know how many we're gonna do, but we'll do some questions from Dr. Know-It-All. We run a little long because Scott's just so fucking interesting. So
I thought it was because his bladder was full.
I mean that too. Yes, there's a link tree for in the chat for both chats.
Oh,
Actually.
hey, Cindy. I have a suggestion for the suggestion box while we're all here. Pop out chat. Yes,
Oh.
please.
Hi, Sydney.
Pop out chat would make
Pop
our
out
life
chat.
very easy. Thank you for the amps,
yeah.
Beethoven.
Beethoven. Oh, you good? Ryan, how you doing back there?
Yeah, pretty good.
You drumming over there?
Yeah.
Why did we give them drumsticks, Ryan? I
Got a
don't.
drum roll.
Invisible drumsticks.
Visible drumsticks.
Invisible drumsticks.
Hey, welcome back.
What am I getting?
Uh-oh. Did we break
Can you
them?
hear us?
Bye-bye.
No.
I'll be back.
Oh no! Why can't hear?
Refresh.
Refresh.
Refresh. Maybe you should mouth it so you can see it.
Refresh.
Refresh.
Why?
Cream fresh.
Hollywood.
California.
Wait, can you hear us? No?
Caca.
Hold on. Oh, of course. I was like, should I take them with me to go pee? Nah.
Yeah. No. Okay, no.
Can you hear me still? No.
No. Still
Got
no.
it. I messaged you. I hope you don't. I hope you look at it.
Let's see.
Refresh. Refresh.
Did you just? Let's see. Why is it not working?
We don't know.
You sent
That's
me
a
something.
phone.
I did. Yes, this is a phone.
A what? What? Oh, a phone.
Technology is always my friend.
Technology is always my friend.
Batman.
All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, cool. He's seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. What has happened?
Meow.
It was working so well.
That's right. We don't have G Scott to fix things, Skip Lake.
All right.
That's right.
That working?
All
Can you hear
right.
us?
In the time, making some sounds.
Oh, interesting. Because that's not even, the volume's not even coming out of my eye, anywhere.
Ah.
Oh, can you hear us?
Nope. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hello. Hola.
Oh no!
Oh, sassafras.
Can you like put your AirPods back in and then take them out?
Reconnect them.
But it's coming
Didn't he
out
say
of,
he worked in a Mac repair place? Oh boy. Hello? Caca? Papa?
Papa?
Yeah, I've lost sound completely.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
no.
Now
We can
picture.
hear you.
Which is, oh, you can hear me, but
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
is there a way to go out and come back in? Or will that make everything crazy?
yeah. Same
Try.
code, same code. Yeah.
Well, that's what I should do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go out and come back in.
Yeah.
Got it.
We got this. We got
All
this.
right. Let's try that.
Hungry.
Oh, we need our technical difficulty screen.
Oh,
Oh, do we have it loaded up?
No, it's we gotta find it.
that's okay.
It's somewhere. Yeah, Ryan might have it.
Technical difficulties. If it doesn't, Daniel should post Scott's phone number to the internet.
Yeah, we'll all group call.
I don't have his phone number. I'm not messaging him that way, so I can't give that out.
Yeah, if he comes back and it's broken, we should just get him on speaker.
Yeah, that'll work. I mean, I guess I can call him. Oh, it's magic, you know. Yes, Skimp Lake. It's magic. Can you hear us?
Man, yeah.
Okay, good. You got time to
You
sing.
missed our sick beats and our
Yeah.
lovely renditions.
We are beatboxing and
I'm having severe FOMO right now.
well, that's okay because you're back in time for us to bring.
Going the wrong way.
Back in time.
Very local joke.
Oh my gosh.
Old
Then a
joke.
lot of making out.
With your eyes wide open.
Yes.
I'm back to uncomfortable and slightly turned on. Anyways, you are in time to welcome our resident expert of all things.
You doing your mug?
I don't know. Dr. Know-It-All. Push the button. Goddamn. So Dr. Know-It-All, here's the where I explain the game to Scott for the first time while also explaining it to you all. So Dr. Know-It-All is our wonderful resident expert of all things with multiple heads. Dr. Know-It-All's heads currently look like Scott.
Oh.
He's over there. Scott. How are we gonna do this? Chunk, Cucumber,
What?
and Ryan. Well, I can actually reach that far. Ooh. Dr. Know-It-All will answer your questions, advice, anything you have. So go ahead and throw any questions that you have for Dr. Know-It-All into the chat, and we will answer them. Dr. Know-It-All will answer them one head at a time, one word at a time, until an answer is given in completion
sentence.
in a full sentence, and then
Or
we'll
more.
bow to
Yes.
signify that the answer is complete.
Yes.
As well as, please, Dr. Know-It-All, insert some of your of the question in your answer so we know what you're talking about. Does that make sense?
This counts for you as well over in volume.
Yes,
Your
volume
kids
as well.
are often quiet, so speak up.
Send some questions. Does that
Got
make
one
sense,
from
Scott?
Kiri already.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
you
Got
know,
it.
as much as it can. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Well, who's starting?
It's so it's gonna go in that order. So it's Scott, Chunk,
Oh, crap. Okay.
sorry, Cucumber,
and then
then
Ryan.
Ryan, and then back up to Scott.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan.
So the way we're set up, it makes sense that way. I think.
Yeah, sure for you.
Nothing makes sense to you, Chuck. It's fine. By the way, we are
So I
awful
say
at this game.
One
One
word at a
word.
time.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
mean,
You got
keep
it.
going.
Even the reiterating of the question is done one word at a time.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, you know, like reiterate it in a way, like you know, like in an interview, and you include some of the question in your answer, kind of thing. Yeah, that kind of
Sure.
that kind of thing. Jesus, Ryan's got to be part of this, Cucumber. Don't scare him away. Okay, we got a couple questions.
Trying to scare him away from yours. I don't think this will work.
Okay, so let's start with Cindy from Volume since we got here. Dr. Know-It-All, Cindy wants to know, what secret conspiracy would you like to start?
The
Secret.
Conspiracy.
I
would
Like.
Two.
start.
start.
Oh, sorry.
You can't see him. He's making it extra hard for you.
Yeah, that does make it. Okay. So Ryan, you said start.
Yes.
Okay. Is
The.
Order.
Of
the
Big.
Screaming.
scary
weasels
With.
Butter.
have
infiltrated
16.
Geometric.
shapes
under
The.
City.
and
will
Never.
Stop.
until
the
Commissioner.
Gordon.
gives
permission
To.
Execute.
order.
37.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Oh, good. I love it.
That went okay.
You heard it here first, folks. Check out the blogs for more details on this conspiracy theory. Thank you, Dr. Know-It-All.
It's a good one.
Okay. Let's see. We got to go back a bit here. Mitchie had one ready for us, so here we go. Mitchie says, hey, Dr. Know-It-All, what is the best appliance in the kitchen and why?
Consider. Oh, that's right. I have to say that.
You can say consider it. Make it work.
Okay, considering
That.
The.
Best
You say kitchen? You got real quiet. I think maybe your headphones done died.
Oh,
Oh, there we
there you
go.
go.
Yeah.
You're good.
What was your word?
kitchen.
Let's consider that the best kitchen.
Appliance.
Is.
of
Technical.
Advancement.
And.
cooking.
Garbage.
Oh,
Always.
Use.
a
Can I do hyphenated words?
Sure.
I'm going to say it's hyphenated, but it's not. Left-handed.
Because.
I told you we suck at this game.
Instapots.
Left-handed Instabots.
are
Similar.
To.
Pressure cookers.
At
took you that long.
Proportionate.
Amounts
of
food.
Dispersal.
okay.
Let's get. Might as well.
It's not going anywhere.
So usually,
I don't have the attention span to take a pause in between the thing because I lose track of where we are.
yeah. Like I said, Scott, this game we're pretty bad at sometimes, and that bow is usually a painful.
Yeah.
God, please let it end. Okay, Carrie Arkwell, Dr. Know-It-All. How are you going to stay grounded once the world starts turning again? From Corey. Hi, Corey. How are you going to stay grounded while the world starts turning? Remaining.
Grounded.
Requires
Attaching.
Components.
Made.
of
Titanium.
Alloy.
To.
your
Harness.
The image in my head just got real weird.
Go with it.
Yeah. Exuberantly.
Titan.
the
Apparatus.
With
Buckles.
and
Rope.
Question mark.
lattice.
Work.
cinch.
Cinch?
Yes, cinch.
Yourself.
Vigorously.
Nice.
But.
Be
Careful.
Chafing.
Is.
a
Problem.
That's good.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, feel free to end it if it's your turn and you're like, no, that's good.
Even if it's not your turn, if you're done with this, just
Yeah, he does that all the
picturing
time.
a reverse Baron Harkonnen. So instead of it floating him, it's just weighing him down to the ground.
Okay, I got a couple more we can do here, and then we'll call it a day. So Mitchie wants to know, Dr. Know-It-All, how do we reel in one big fish?
Oh, reeling.
A.
Big
Fish.
Requires.
Bait.
such
As.
Fallopian.
Tissue.
braided
Elegantly.
Amongst.
Bacon.
strips
Hooked.
Casted.
Beautifully.
into
The.
Oil.
Spill.
oh. mass
Where.
Big.
Fish.
reside.
That's good.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, I got one more.
One more.
Wicken, thanks for joining us. I'll see you in the chat
Bye.
at Scott Show.
later.
Yeah. Okay, we got one more here from Dan, and then we'll call it a day for Dr. Know-It-All. Dr. Know-It-All. Dan Pettit wants to know, what is your favorite jelly bean flavor? That's easy. Hopefully.
My.
Favorite.
A jelly bean
Flavor. Just 2 words.
Gets.
More.
delicious.
The
more
You.
Suckle.
it.
You broke Scott.
considering
That.
Steak.
Usually
needs
Lots.
Of.
suckling.
obviously.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Is that why I can't cook a good steak? Is because I'm not suckling it enough?
Yeah, you gotta
You
suckle it a
gotta
little
suckle
bit.
those juices. You know, you let it rest, and then you, and then it's all good. Yeah.
That noise was
Oh.
awful. Oh. Chuxito says, insert Chris Grau naked lying on bed here.
I would love like a raw steak jelly bean. I think that would actually be pretty dang good.
A raw steak jelly? Not even a
Well,
cooked
not
one?
raw. I guess rare. A rare steak jelly bean. Lightly seared. Listen, it's sugar. It's not gonna kill me. Okay.
I got salmonella from a jelly bean. I don't know how that happened. Oh man,
Jelly bean
Scott.
tartar.
Yeah. Ugh.
Tartar
Scott.
jelly bean. Yeah.
Scott, you're amazing. Thank you for being on the
Yeah,
show with us
thank you.
today.
Yeah.
So you
for
got
having me.
you got a
This
lot
was
of
a
stuff
blast.
coming up. You got a lot of stuff coming up. You got the Summer Sizzler. Remind us when that is.
So Summer Sizzler is happening on August 13th at the Garden Amphitheater in Garden Grove. Tickets are, if you go to my website or if you go to my Twitch channel and follow the links, tickets are $15 in advance. It's an all ages show. We do ask that you are vaccinated. We ask that you wear a mask just for the safety of others and, keep it nice and friendly. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Bite Me Bambi. It's going to be my band, The Scholars. I'm going to be doing it. A band called The Ruffalos. And then San Diego City Soul Club is going to be spinning records. And then I guess there was another band that was just added that I have not been informed as to who they are.
Oh.
It's
but
us.
I've
It's
only
us. We didn't
guessed-
want to tell you, but it's us.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there.
It's a
I
new
brought my
venture.
slide whistle. I'm ready to go.
Clarinet over here.
Yeah, that's right.
I would watch a show of slide whistle and clarinet.
The two of them playing slide whistle and nothing else.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that's great.
I'd
I
be
would love that. I mean, hey, it might get like 1,000 views on Twitch, so we'll see.
Yeah.
It was that the TBA band that was on the poster. That was.
I guess so. I think they knew that they were probably going to add somebody, so I think they preemptively put the TBA on there.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, it's so secret because they're so amazing. It's like we just don't know
It's
who's
like to
coming
be
in.
announced. Snow cones,
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, it says
Snow
like
cones.
TBA, and it says TBA, and it looks like there's like an emblem blurred there, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing under
It's a
there.
placeholder.
Yeah.
And you're working on some new stuff right now. I don't know if you want to share that.
Yeah, I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio right now with John Avila, who produced "Turn the Radio Off" and "Why They Rock So Hard." He's from the band Oingo Boingo.
Sorry.
He's also
Got excited.
He's also
Got
done.
excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, John is just the best. I mean, John's a longtime friend and mentor. So we're recording some tunes, and I've had some great people play on this stuff already. I've been able to get some really fascinatingly interesting musicians on it.
Cool.
And so we're hoping to be able to get that stuff out and released in the next couple months. But, and then we're trying to set up some shows for the fall to be able to go out and see people around the world. I mean, as things are allowed to be done, we're trying to play shows in the U.S. and then when we're allowed to go overseas, we're going to head to Australia. We want to head to the UK. We want to head everywhere that we're welcome, and then some places that we're probably not.
Naturally.
Get that nice chicken wire screen in front of you.
Yeah. Chicken wire.
Just like in Blues Brothers.
Oh man, I would. I mean, I actually love those experiences. There was a time when we played this show in Germany. It was a big, huge festival, and we got put somehow on the like metal stage, and it was like Static X. And like all of these like scary black metal bands and like all sorts of stuff. And we were like and it was in this weird tent. There was like 5,000 people. And we just looked at each other and we're like, it was nice knowing you. This was nice working with you. We're going to die. But we were like, we got to open with Scott Tannick. And so we opened with Scott Tannick and we played it as loud and hard and screamy as we did. And we won the whole. I mean, it was all like people with black eyeliner and patent leather, and it was just scary. And the whole crew was just all scary, like German metal fans. And we killed it. We crushed it. We won them over. So we played Scott Tannick, and then we played Everything Is Cool, and like all of our really like harder, scarier tunes right at the front. They were just like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And so we survived. But it's that kind of thing where you go into a situation, you're like, "This is not my crowd. How do I pull this off?" And it doesn't always work, but those are the fun experiences. Those are the ones where you go like, "Well, we played in front of we showed up at in front of and played a Disney thing with the Backstreet Boys, and that was
nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That was a mixed bag. So yeah.
But yeah, so look out for Scott's stuff coming up. If you're in SoCal, anybody in our chat that's in SoCal,
I'm in SoCal.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good way to get a first concert in post pandemic or tail end of pandemic, go to the Summer Sizzler. Bring your mask. Get vaccinated beforehand. August 13th. We'll put information. All that's on the link tree and everything. We'll get it out there.
And for Twitch people, we're going to do something. We want to do something special. So we're trying to figure that out too, because we have people coming from like different part. Like we have a few people coming that are from our stream that are like around the country, which is crazy to me. It's so beautiful. Like I feel again, like I'm so humbled by the participation and the love that comes from this Twitch community. That it is, it's so rare, and we need to lift it up and preserve it in a way that still creates inclusivity, which is a difficult thing for people who live in a black and white society where it's like you either do or you don't tend to reside. Mm-hmm. But just to throw in my last little bits of jabs at society.
Absolutely.
There,
I appreciate the community that you've built, and that's one of the biggest reasons I wanted you on the show, not just because I'm a huge fan, because I am, but also because I loved what you brought to Twitch. I was like, that community would fit in well with our community and vice versa, and I wanted to mix that in some way to have some kind of crossover, and I think we did at we rated you at some point. And I'm pretty sure a handful of our people ended up joining and keep watching the stream. So I'm glad we can support you that way as well. But
well, what you're doing here is, I mean, like seriously, like this is so beautiful. Like this is so neat, and it's like it's
thank you.
It's this is why I came to Twitch. Is it's like where the brain goes like, oh, let's just take the things that I like and do it.
That's what we do.
It's like, so I'll never forget the first time I heard Frank Zappa, and that was the experience. I was like, oh, I can just do the things I want to do. There's like, oh, well then I'm gonna be great.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'll be fine.
I'll be okay.
True story. What's your true story?
True story. My mom tutored Dweezil Zappa in Italian when she first came here from Italy. Yeah, for free because he offered her guitar lessons that he never gave her. She never followed up on either. To be fair, but
fair enough.
You should follow. Oh wait.
Oh.
Sorry, I actually didn't remember. That wasn't a gag. I forgot.
You shamed Chunk over.
Bad.
Chunk, come back. It's okay. You can come back from sadness.
Okay.
Okay.
What's wrong with my
Anyways,
arm?
since I'm sure other people have to go to the restroom in our group here,
And how?
Scott, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Just a
Yeah.
little selfish. I went from the first time seeing you, literally standing in the first row with my friend Alex, looking right in front of you and going, "The beard!" I remember that vividly in my head while you played the trumpet. To like now getting to sit down and talk with you for a while is amazing for me. So thank you so much for letting me have that and for joining us today.
Yeah.
Giblix says
My
we appreciate
pleasure.
you, Dino, but we appreciate Cucumber more.
Boo.
Yay!
That's normal. I fear.
You want my chopped liver?
Hey, chopped liver is delicious. Don't knock
I'm
it.
leaving.
Yeah, they made a
again.
jelly bean for it, actually.
I'm leaving again.
Bye-bye.
All right. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. And if you
Bye-bye.
think that we're not done yet.
All right.
If you think that our stream is worth at least $1 of your time, join our Patreon.
My God.
Look at that transition. Wow.
Smooth,
Yeah.
subtle. That's what we do
You
here.
could be a producer like Liam Huddlemeyer and Option Delete.
Or associate producers such as the following. Marty Schrecker, Jess Gillespie, I'm Jason O'Dowd, and Michi909.
909.
And a special shout out to all of our Felted family and friends.
Felted family and friends.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, folks. We are on YouTube right now, but we do go live on Twitch on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Friday nights. So get those busting seats. We're hoping to get that check mark sometime soon. And tomorrow night we have more Morkborg.
The ultimate episode. I almost said penultimate, but that's not what that means.
Yeah.
The final
The
episode
final
of
episode.
Merkburg.
The heavy metal
And
roll
Dick
RPG.
Sword.
Dick Sword, everybody. Thank you, Dick Sword.
We always buy time until Dick Sword comes on the
Yes.
screen.
Oh, excuse me.
That's fair. Yeah.
But thanks again, everybody. Join us tomorrow on Twitch for Merkborg. And thanks again, Scott, for being here. Follow
Thanks,
Scott.
Scott.
Join his Twitch, join his YouTube, follow his socials and everything to see more of what's to come. And we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.